Hello, welcome to Wootaboot's episode 5. Today we are going to do some redstone. We're actually going to do down the mine. We're going to set up the rail cart and we're going to set up the new redstone powered hopper unloader. Now this is a design which I haven't seen anyone else online use. It's a simplified version. It uses just, checking my schematic, it uses just 2 comparators and 2 repeaters, as well as a detector rail and a powered rail. So before we get started, I am just going to go into some crafting mode and make sure that I have all the stuff I need as well as plenty of lights. So see you in a few seconds. Okay, so if something could have gone wrong, if I would have run out of some materials in that session, I did. I ran out of wood, I ran out of quartz, I had to go into the nether. But it's done now, and what we have left over is 2 redstone comparators, 2 redstone repeaters, a few torches, a minecart with a chest in because we're going to test this, a detector rail. I only need 1, but they're coming back to the 6s. 1 powered rail and about 5 or 6 rails. Now I've got a lot more because obviously I'm going to extend the railroad beyond the ending here. But you also need a hopper, a couple of redstone torches, and of course some redstone. And that's all you need, plus my usual standard food and so on. So now we're ready to head down the mine. Okay, here we are, we're about to start the build. This is the bottom of the item elevator, so you can see the chest leading into the hopper, which leads into this dropper, a little redstone clock here, which fires the stuff into the water and into around there. Now, this is the floor, this is actually level 10, this is the floor where I want the mine to come in. And I purposely built this lower down because I knew how much this was going to take up in space. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop the hopper on top of that chest. Now you can go the hopper straight into the dropper, but I think these work better having a little buffer chest in between. It also means I can turn off the clock, or I can make the clock run a lot slower if I'm getting a bit of server lag. It gives it a bit more beneficial. Now on top of that, I'm actually going to put the powered rail. But before I do, I need some space. Unfortunately here, I haven't counted this right, so I have to do away with some bricks so I can actually get some cobblestone. Now, I'm going to be actually putting a redstone circuit in here, so that's going to be where my comparator sits, and I have to just look at my other screen to make sure this is all going to work. Okay, so I've got some bricks. This, shift click, this is going to be the actual base of the railroad. So what's going to go on here is if I actually put some railroad down, this here is the powered rail. Now I want to leave this block in here so when the minecart comes running down here, it'll get stopped here. And this powered rail is what's going to power it to go back down the circuit. Now I know what you're saying, it's all going to go horribly wrong, and it probably is. If you've got a minecart full, it's going to get down here, it's going to drop probably about 1 item in before powered off, be shot back down again. And that is a problem. So we're going to also have a secondary circuit here, which is going to turn this power off. So I'm going to show you the first part of the circuit first, and I'm going to try and get it right first time, which is going to be hilarious. So what we have is we have a comparator here facing that way, and out the back of this, you're going to take it one like that. Let me put my stuff in the actual useful place. Redstone out like that, and then we're going to drop a repeater in. That. And this is where we're actually going to need quite a bit of space. I just mine all this out for a second. So I punch into someone else's secret trap they've laid for me. From there we're going to go out 1. We're actually going to need another 2 or 3 here, I think. Might need to put a torch down. That might be a... see what we're doing here. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to put a NOT gate in. That's a torch, not a redstone torch. Let's actually put a proper torch in. And then we're going to go like that. And then we're going to go into a second comparator here, but we're going to set this comparator to subtract mode. In fact, we're not going to do that. We're going to go one more over. Subtract mode. And then we're going to put redstone all the way back. Now, before we put redstone back, let's put one more block here, otherwise it won't light up properly. Redstone, redstone, redstone. That's now a powered rail. So what it's basically saying is when the cart's there, it will get powered off down this track. Now the problem here is that it goes off too much. It goes off too many times. So what I'm going to do is put a detector rail in. And a detector rail detects when the cart goes over the top of it. And this is quite a useful thing. I'm going to put it not on the next block, but one block out. And this helps with timing a little bit. Otherwise, because of server lag and so on, let me just bring this out a bit. So we're going to bring a minecart along here. I'm just going to put this down here like this. Like that. It's going to come down here, shoot the detector rail, and the detector rail is going to turn this circuit off. And the way it turns this circuit off is relatively easy to understand. We're going to feed into the side of this. We're going to feed into it using a redstone repeater. And the delay is going to be set to 1. We're just checking my delays on the other one. Yeah, they're all set perfect. I'm going to take the redstone to connect these two up. And that is my circuit. That is the simplest hopper and loader circuit I can come up with. And just to check it works, I'm going to grab my minecart. It comes in. Of course, it's empty, so it gets fired back. Now, if you notice here, what actually happens is as it comes here, this interrupts this circuit and turns it off. I've got a spider. Spider. No, maybe I haven't. This will interrupt this flow and turn this rail off, allowing everything to drop out. And when it's dropped out, the signal here turns on, which turns this signal off. Very simple to understand, very simple to use. All you need to do now is throw a whole bunch of stuff you don't really want into the chest and fire it along. So the first one triggers, turns it all off. It now all empties. You can see things are now being fired up the item elevator. And once it's empty, it gets fired back. This is now fully empty. All these chests are now empty. And of course, the item hopper itself empty. That is my super simple mine unloader. This is my landing point. It's a bit of a silly place because it's right in the middle of the path. What's going to happen is the rails are going to go down the middle here like this. So you just got to remember every 8 to put in a power rail. I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. Of course, I've just put this to replace. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, perfect, 8. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the powered rail. And then wherever you are, 6, 7, ooh, it's gone. Now wherever you are, you can just basically 5, 6, 7, powered rail. Of course, if you want to just terminate, you just slap that on at the end. Okay, so how to power these rails? Bit of an amendment because this looks really ugly and this looks rather neat. Notice this one's powered, this one isn't powered yet. So I thought I'd show you very quickly how to power these rails in a nice way. So first of all, I'm going to get rid of that and fill that wall back in. Now the trick is to dig. Oh, damn you, water! I'm just going to block you in. Right. The trick is to dig down more than one, so I've got one there, and then put a lever on the bottom, and then jump back up, filling in the gaps as you go, and that's now a powered rail, and there's nothing on the surface. The reason being, when you're in the middle here, you don't want these switched over to one side, so I'll just show you again. Dig 1 down, 2 down. If you dig that one out there, that's the one you want to dig out, but you can't look up, so you have to dig another one down, look back up, put the switch on, throw the switch, and then jump your way out. Powered. That's all you have to do.